hours that we're together today, is that there is a vibrational state of being, and once you get so you can sense it, even though you can't see it, once you get so that you can sense it, then you've got guidance. So did you come to talk about something?
Yes, many things, but you've answered so many things, and I watch you every day, all day sometimes. I mean, it's
didn't go the way we planned it, but that's all right. You sort of have a life to live, you know.
Yeah. I pulled away from a lot of things and a lot of people in the beginning. I just started watching in December, and I've been watching ever since. But now I'm sort of going back into the world and able to move and be with people and have a good time and not really bring you up. I made the I gave up on bringing you up because it just doesn't go well.
We are hard to describe.
Yes.
Our favorite story was someone saying to Jerry and Esther, yeah, I just had a hard time talking about that man who called his wife Abraham.
I'm able to manifest so many things now so easily. What I've noticed is the less I care about them, the quicker they come.
Well, it isn't the less you care about them. It's the less you project your habit of thought about them, which contains resistance. Caring can be pure positive energy. So when you care about something and you have no resistance, then it's even more delicious. But on some subject, especially the big ones that you feel are slow in their becoming, you've got habits of vibration. That's why you call it care, a little bit like need, which is a lot like resistance. But it's not the amount of time you spent or the degree to which you care. If someone called you on the telephone and said, hello, you don't know me, I'm just calling to tell you I will never call you again, you would say, alrighty then. There's no caring, there's no hurting, there's no feeling of loss. But if someone you cared about were to say something like that to you, you would feel some discomfort in your solar plexus about that one. And so yes, there are lots of things that you care about, but you can care, you can have powerful desires with no resistance, and that's optimum life experience. We don't want any of you to get any hint of an idea that you can stop your caring. That would be like saying I can stop my desires, and you can't, because once you've handed a desire off to your inner being and your inner being is on it and your inner being's point of attraction is gathering the cooperative components, it is in the process of becoming, and you might as well just become one of those cooperative components and go along with it. And if you don't feel good, and that's what you're describing. It's the resistance you've got to let loose of, not your desire.
Yeah,
following?
And I've become very sensitive to not feeling good. I don't like it at all, and I don't want to spend time there.
Good.
Okay.
And yet you want your guidance to work. You don't want to barricade yourself off, you vibrational snob, where there are only things that please you, because that's not deliberate creating either. That's not utilizing contrast to take the bounce and the evolution. Some could say Esther and Mark had a sort of negative experience yesterday, but they didn't. It was awesome.
Yeah, I'm getting there. I'm actually just recently getting there, where something will happen and I'll say, oh, okay, I know I don't want that. And that's good that I've discovered that.
And so
my question is, I've been very blessed, whatever you want to call it, throughout my life. I've had gifts and talents that have not been something that I felt like were mine. Earlier in my life, I would say they were God-given. Now I might say something different.
God-given is good, but to acknowledge that you have them means God-given and human received.
Okay. I didn't even have to work very hard for them.
You never do.
And there was lots of them.
Yeah.
So my question is, I was a professional, well, to get specific, I was a professional dancer, I was an actor, I was a designer for many years.
Yeah.
So my question is now is when I get into my desires and everything, they keep going from one subject to another.
Good.
And do I have to decide? I used to say, let God's will be done, because it gets confusing to me, and I feel like I have to be focused on a certain topic for it to come to complete fruition. Otherwise, it just keeps getting...
Well, those are pretty good words, because what you're actually saying with them is, let's say that you were born with that intentionality, and let's call it God's will if you want to. Doesn't matter. Semantics don't matter at all, but the essence of it is accurate, that you were born with well-being flowing to you and through you, and it doesn't matter what you call it. And then let's say you got involved in life, started listening to some other humans who had blocked that flow a bit more, who weren't thriving in the way that you were, who didn't feel blessed the way you do. And then there's a tendency for you to want to find mutuality with them, because you don't want to stick out like a thriving sore thumb.
Yeah. Yeah.
So as you seek mutuality with them, in that process, without meaning to, you sometimes lose your sense of mutuality with your inner being, with all of that pure positive energy. And so it doesn't feel so good, does it, when that happens?
No. And I have gone through that. And since I've discovered you, I have really gotten back to, I love when you say you can't give a rip about what they think about you. I want to do what I came to do in this planet, in this body, in this time. And
we want to clarify something for you, because you are an uplifter to the very core of your being.
I am.
And you can't separate your personal desires for yourself and your own well-being and your personal desires for the thriving of others. You care about others feeling good. You care about their upliftment too. And so your care about them is in your vortex too. So it doesn't work for you really to say, I don't give a rip about you, because it's not even true. And you do care. You do want well-being for them. But here's the differentiation that you're looking for. When you are in concert with your own inner being and all that your inner being knows about you, about the whole of you, about other people, about the whole of them, when you're in concert with what your inner being knows, you're not thinking contradictory thoughts such as, I'm blessed but they're not, or they don't like my thriving and therefore I need to play it cooler so that I don't show off in a way that upsets them. When you understand that your inner being is all about them too, in other words, your inner being is thinking thoughts about them, but your inner being is thinking thoughts about them that may very well be different than the thoughts you're thinking about them, and that's when you feel negative emotion. So we just want to say to you, you don't want to say, I don't care about you, because you do. What you might want to say to yourself for your own clarification, maybe not out loud to them, is that I care so much about you that I'm going to hold you with the same point of view that my inner being holds you, which means I'm not going to find mutuality with you here right now in your complaining, because to do that, while I may be making you feel seen and heard and validated, I've lost my connection with anything that I have to give you. And if I do very much of that, I'm going to resent you. I'm going to be a vibrational snob, and I'm just going to run off where people are high-minded and thinking good thoughts. And that never feels good, because you do care about the world at large, about the political arena, about what's going on in the world, about people thriving, about children having enough to eat, and on and on and on and on and on. You do care, and your vortex is full of all of that caring, and your inner being is all over it, and attraction is coming to give solutions to all of those things that you've lived and seen as problems or questions. And so you just want to be aware of whether you're crossways of your own vibrational calling. That's all. And when you are aware and therefore choosing thoughts that feel good to you, thoughts where you feel more satisfaction, what happens is you stop your resistance, your vibration rises to the full power and clarity and efficiency of being in concert with your inner being. And then from that position, as you hold someone as your object of attention, whether they get you or not, you still help them.
Yeah. Well, that is what I mean. I mean that I am trying to become better at not going down to their level, but still going to where I'm supposed to be and saying, you can come.
Let's call it, rather than saying, because we
or
sort of
commiserate with them, rather.
It's all right. Rather than finding mutuality with wherever they are, maintain your mutuality with your high-flying vibration, and then hold them as your object of attention. And then if they have desire and find moments of less resistance, they will rise, and you will have rendezvous with them that will be meaningful. And if they don't, that's all right too, because somewhere along the line, all that will happen to them if they don't join you this red hot minute is that they will continue to live contrast, and they will continue to throw rockets of desire into their own vortex, and their own vortex will continue to call them, and sooner or later they'll have a breakthrough. It might be once they croak and make their transition into non-physical, but no worries. In other words, they will make their way back. Yes.
So as far as me pursuing a particular thing, do I have to choose, or can I still leave it to, like I was saying, God's will, and just try to feel the best that I can, and
Well,
feel the highest about all of my desires?
here's the thing that we really want you to hear, and you're so ready to hear this.
Oh gosh, yes.
Your life has already caused you to choose. It's not happening now. You've already chosen, and source energy is all over it. So then you say, can I go back on my choice? No. Can I amend it? Yeah, you can't stop amending it. In other words, life keeps causing you to clarify it more and more and more. So it's already been chosen. Ask, done. Given, done. You can choose to line up with what you've asked for and what's been given, or you can choose to hold yourself in tortured contrast to your own desire. Let's say there are many, many things that you've asked for, that you've chosen for, that are all in that spinning vortex, and law of attraction has gathered all the cooperative components. So here's what we would do if we were standing in your physical shoes. We're going to talk about something in a new way for most of you, and you're going to like it as you hear this, and it's going to weave in and out of everything that we've talked about already here. So just relax and hear this. You're going to like what moves within you as you hear this. When you get what we just said, that you've asked and therefore you've summoned, and so your creation is underway. All of them are. If you want to differentiate them as many different things, they're all underway. They're in the process of becoming. Now, to demonstrate that becoming, we want to talk about thoughts turning to things, vibrations becoming more and more tangible, and therefore more and more recognizable, and therefore more and more satisfying to you. That's why you're here, leading edge creative monsters. That's why you're here. You came here because this is the leading edge. This is where thoughts turn to things. And thoughts turning to things, let's just acknowledge, when you can see it and hear it and smell it and taste it and touch it, it's more than when it's just an idea that you're feeling. When you feel love and anticipation, and that feeling morphs into something that you can then witness and shows itself to you in all kinds of different ways all day long, it's better than sitting in a room meditating, feeling some satisfaction in your belly. It just is. And so you're here as leading edge creators, and you're supposed to create, and so do all of that you have time and inclination to do. It's a really good thing. In fact, it's why you're here. So as things are in the process of becoming, as you have decided, and this is the new piece for most people, this is a piece that happened within you that gave you so much movement. It happens within everyone before they start really allowing conscious awareness of how powerful a creator you are. It's when you accept that you're a vibrational being, therefore you have a point of attraction that law of attraction is responding to. And so